Well, fam, it's finally time to play the one and only Black Myth Wukong. Now, honestly, I expect the PC port of this to be pretty solid. It's going to be beautiful, and we're going to check it out here in just a minute. But what I'm particularly interested in is the PlayStation 5 port of the game, which we're checking out later in this video, because they have not shared any codes with reviewers or anything. There's been a couple of like leaked gameplay clips that have come out here and there that looked pretty damn rough. So we're gonna try it. I'm hoping they had a day one patch that just made everything way better, and this is gonna be just thumbs up across the board, but time will tell. But honestly, I can't wait anymore. Let's just jump right into it, hit go, and see where we're at. Now, while we're playing on PC, I'm gonna turn on this little overlay in the top left that shows you performance. I am playing this on my crazy, spoiled, rich kid computer, and so it is cranked out the wazoo, and it looks like it. Gee whiz. Golly. Already, man. Let's just take it in. Take it in for a second. Jeez, dude. I love big set pieces. This is like tailor-made for me. I love this kind of thing. It's me, the monkey boy. I don't know what's going on, but I'm here for it. I'm here for it. Jeez. That's not great. You don't want to see that.
My master. Safe. The scriptures.
That's not what I expected him to sound like. Not at all.
All I ever wanted was a life in my mountain, free from you and your so-called merits. Those high above don't trust me. I understand that. And they send you and those knuckleheads to threaten me. To obey and serve once more.
I mean, okay, elephant in the room while he's saying this. I would comment on the lip syncing, but there basically isn't any. It's just lips moving and then English dialogue. I get that it's probably synced for the original dialogue, but still in 2024 that's abnormal, I'd say, to have basically non-existent lip sync. It's not why you're playing a game like this, but it's still hard to ignore. Holy particle effects, Batman. Tutorial fight incoming. Looks like it.
Stay back, stupid dog. He's not just any monkey. He's a monkey of merit. A monkey was made Buddha once. None other than me can challenge him to a duel. Look, monkey.
That better be an eye on his forehead.
Of fighting someone I've bested before. Here's my offer. If you lose, I'll take you to the Celestial Court. They will stay and level your mountain. But if I lose, I shall certainly take revenge, and they will level your mountain nonetheless. How tragic would that be, huh? You are one of the court. We don't need to resort to violence. How about you bend the knees, admit the wrongs, and we can put this behind us.
I'm sorry, the voice. I'm just not ready for the voice, man.
All these years. Except for that pig. You're the one who talks the tallest tales. Good. I am entertained. Speaking of entertainment, wouldn't it be fun if I pluck your extra eye out for my snack and allow you to keep the other two? Because I'd hate to let you miss how I'll slaughter each mongrel of the court. Those below, those above, and that black mutt of yours. Come at me, all of you.
Boom. Now that's a transition.
Many chances, yet you spurned each one. Such ingratitude.
Yeah. Rock solid. Oh, baby.
Unleash your might!
Oh. I don't know if I'm supposed to find it funny, but I do. It's just the voice is very, very funny to me. Oh.
The Celestial Court welcomed you, foul monkey, yet you remain untamed. None shall save you now.
Dear brother, your edge needs honing. Good. I was in need of a back scratcher.
Golly. So, I mean, first impressions, obviously the game is very, very pretty. And where it counts in combat, oh God, I do think that the performance is about where it needs to be. I mean, I'm not having any crazy problems. I am playing this with frame generation turned on and DLSS on and everything. So I'm giving it pretty much every possible advantage it could have, which is probably helping it, but it sounded from the reviews like most of the problems were kind of intermittent crashing and random quality of life bugs and stuff, and like lip sync not working, which we obviously can see, but that seems to be more of a problem with just the design. I don't think they bothered to create a dynamic system for it. But I'm very impressed by just the scale and how fluidly they're transitioning between like different encounters and cutscenes and stuff. It's crazy impressive, and it's what you'd expect from a AAA game in 2024, which is kind of refreshing, frankly. Whoosh. Golly, man. Jeez, dude. Bear in mind, this is the start of the game.
Foul monkey! Taste my axe!
Golly, dude. I love big epic set piece stuff, like I said at the top, and so this is like cream of the crop for me. I will also say, if you're seeing any screen tearing, it seems to be a capture issue. I'm not seeing that here. I have VSync turned on and everything, but sometimes games will be games, you know? They'll just kind of do their own thing. Dude, they're still going. They're not done yet. Jeez, dude. Oh. Jesus. Do you think the mountain's okay?
And so ends the last tale of Sun Wukong.
That tree's freaking out.
A hero who
Oh no, it's a time lapse. It's growing. It's not a bug, it's a feature. Now it's time to be birthed by the egg of life. Now that's an intro. That's an intro. The one thing is the monkey voice I was not ready for. I will grant you that. I did find it a little bit funny, just a little. I'm expecting this, like, I don't even know what like a rough, gruff, hardened warrior monkey sounds like, but I wasn't expecting. I wasn't ready for it, man. I really wasn't. Oh no, it's frozen, and so it begins. Okay. Oh, maybe it's recovering. I think it's recovering. Okay, that was scary. That was scary. It like was at a total standstill for a while, but it's back to running. We got frames going. There we go. Now that's a peach.
nowhere better than a home. We cheat death and ever grow.
Huh?
Yeah, you see, what bliss my fate shows.
Luck's around the corner. Seems like you just fell from a fruit tree here.
Perfect timing. This peach knew I needed a snack. You sneaky rascal! Dad, fool me! I'll make sure you regret it.
He waited a long time before appearing. I'm just gonna say that. Now, for testing purposes, I just turned off my frame generation just to see what it's like, and it basically cuts frames in half, which I guess I would expect. I mean, NVIDIA's DLSS 3.5 with frame generation is like actual magic, so it's still very, very pretty, but I mean, frame generation does work some magic. However, the downside of turning off frame generation is that, for one, you have less frames, but you gain the ability to avoid screen tearing, which is really, really nice, because I really get triggered with screen tearing in games. But other than that, I mean, there's not really many reasons to turn it off because it's just like actual magic. It's kind of stupid. But you know what's not kind of stupid? Pair Eyewear, the sponsor of this video. Pair is the eyewear company that is built on two premises: being affordable and also allowing you to customize your look without having to buy 15 different pairs of glasses. I, for one, like clear frames, but sometimes if I'm looking to make more of a bold statement, I want something with a firmer outline, a bolder outline, like if I'm going out to a nice dinner or something. And normally I would just have to buy a second pair of glasses like a weirdo and go that route. But with Pair, you can actually just take these frames and pop them on. They just magnetically attach, and then it's like a whole new pair of glasses. It's amazing. They also make frames that serve the purpose of basically sunglasses. So you don't have to take your glasses off and put on a different pair of prescription sunglasses or something. You can just pop them over, and then you have sunglasses with your prescription ready to go. These are even polarized, which is interesting because when you put them on, if you're in a space like this, in my studio, it makes it so like computer displays get all blacked out because of the polarized light. That's how you know that they're actually polarized, which is what you want for sunglasses. But normally, again, you'd have to just buy a second pair of sunglasses. But with this, you're just good to go. You just pop on the new frame when you go outside, and when you're going inside, you either pop them off, leave it off, or you just swap on the other frame, and you carry them all in the carrying case that they give you with a dedicated slot for you to put your little additional frames into. It's a brilliant idea that doesn't break the bank. You can get prescription glasses or sunglasses for men, women, and even children starting at just $60. They even do limited edition frames for special causes like charities, or you can get frames that are themed around Coca-Cola or Harry Potter. It's pretty dang cool. You can check out their website and see all the different styles that they have. I'm warning you, there are a lot of options. And if you're like me, you go with something like the Kirby and then get some different frames so you can customize the look in real time. I have been using these for a couple of days now, and I'm honestly obsessed. So I recommend you check them out. They're gonna be my new daily drivers, and I'm happy to say I'm a convert now. So I think you should check them out. Links below in the description box or in the pinned comment. Make sure to use my promo code so that they know I sent you. Again, check them out at the links below. But okay, right back into it. We are continuing on PC, and I will say that now we're out of like the heavily scripted opening sequence. I do think it's a little more varied. I mean, it drops down into the 50s every once in a while, but it's not bad. It's not super jarring or anything. And I mean, I'm sure there are plenty of bugs. There are things to find, and I'm sure as I play more, I will find those. I mean, you don't end up with every reviewer mentioning technical problems and performance issues unless they are there. But so far, it's been relatively smooth, for me at least, and I tend to be a bit of a bug magnet. If you've ever watched any of my reviews or videos before, you'll know that I have a real talent for attracting them. But in a few minutes, we're gonna go, look at that, that's crazy. In a few minutes, we are gonna go and try the PlayStation 5 port, which I've also purchased and downloaded to see how that runs, because I'm hearing conflicting things on like X right now, for example, where some people are saying it runs great and there's no problems. Other people say it runs like absolute dog water, so we're gonna see. Now, one of the things that they've really pushed hard is that this is not a Souls-like game, and they are not trying to treat it as one. It's not like Dark Souls, it's not like Elden Ring. It's much more of an action game than it is your standard Souls-like game. And that to me is perfectly fine. I like Souls-like games, of course, but I also like action games. And what that means in practice, I think, is that this game is going to be more approachable. I think the systems are going to be simpler. There's not a lot of like character building or action RPG mechanics or anything. You'll gain new abilities and stuff as you play through it, but they're not trying to pretend as though this is some sort of crazy advanced RPG. And they're just not wasting the time trying to get that type of system working, which is incredibly difficult to do right. Instead, they're going to present a really high production value action adventure type game and let that carry the show. And I don't blame them. I think that's a good way of doing it. Oh, first boss? I guess technically the tutorial was the first boss, but here we are. Boom. A bull guard. Slap. Oh, he smacked me. Oh. Oh, baby. Ooh, little scripted tutorial. Okay. Our friend is back. Ba-doom, first spell. There we go. Already.
There you go. Should you come across any miscreants, just point your finger at them and release this spell.
Can.
You'll be able to hold them in place while giving yourself a breather. Sadly, mine is but a humble trick. Its power will wear off within a few short moments. Though it's good enough against boneheads like this one. Anyway, just consider it an ace up your sleeve. No! The young ones these days know no manners. Fear not. Teach them a lesson with your new spell.
Smack that booty. There we go. Bada bing, bada boom. Sparks. I've gained sparks. That's all I've ever wanted. Now here's where you can see the kind of depths of customization. So we have different like outfits and stuff that can be worn. You can see they do have defensive stats, so there will be reason to swap these out. They're not just cosmetic or anything. Different weapons will also be acquirable. There's different curios, which are like little like charm type things. You could imagine it like that. And of course, we have our old gourd, which is basically just healing. In this case, it's coconut wine is our drink that we're using right now. Each sip restores 33% of maximum health. Easy peasy. I will say with DLSS turned on, there definitely is some artifacting around the hair at the top of his head. There's little stuff if you look for it, but honestly, it's not that noticeable when you're actually playing. And if that's the sacrifice you have to make for the rest of the fidelity being so high, I think it's tolerable. It's nothing like super jarring or anything. Can't go down there. Okay. And the other thing I notice immediately are the invisible walls. There's areas like this where you feel like you should be able to go down, but you just can't. It's just an invisible wall. And that's something which, like, I can understand why they've done it. I can understand they want to keep you on a more narrow path to lead you to certain spots. But it's one of the big questions I had going into this game is what is the connective tissue between the boss encounters? Because we all agree the boss encounters look awesome. All of that stuff looks great. That's why they've shown that every time they've shown the game. But what do you do between the boss fights? Because that presumably is a good amount of time. And it seems as though that is one area where a good number of people have been a little underwhelmed because there we go. Because it relies on a lot of older tropes of design with some of these more linear type games. That was a bad frame drop. That was rough. And just so everybody's aware, like, this is after all of the shader compilation and everything takes place, because when you boot the game up for the first time, it does all of that. So this isn't that Unreal Engine stuttering like with Calypso Protocol or anything. This is stuff that's happening even after all of that's been done, which makes you wonder how bad it would be if they didn't add that. You know, probably not great. And I'm sure you get used to it pretty quick, but like even here, I was like, oh, I want to jump up there. I bet there's something good. But no, this is an invisible wall. You just can't continue after that. So you just have to kind of turn your brain off and be like, okay, where do they want Monkey to go? Not over here, Monkey, not go over there. Monkey, go over here. You really have to think like a monkey. You know, you have to think like a monkey. It reminds me of the time I was making a video on, I don't even know what. I was making a video on something and I said something to the effect of, oh, you just have to turn on your monkey brain and just go through the motions and just play the game, you know, do the thing. And somebody got so offended in the comments, like, actually, I'm not a monkey. I was created in the image of my Lord. Dude got like majorly triggered because I said to turn on your monkey brain. I was like, I'm not attacking your like religion or anything. I'm just saying turn on your monkey brain, but bro got triggered as hell. So let's see if we can get him to show up in this video too. Go down in the comment section, leave a comment yourself, like the video while you're at it, and see if you can find somebody talking about how they're not a monkey and they don't appreciate being called one. I'm sure there's someone down there. But okay, I didn't find anything crazy cool. I'm just going to continue along the path past the boss guy that we fought and self-advance in sparks. Level up to gain sparks and awaken more abilities, and spell sparks will not be lost upon resurrection. Okay, cool. Now, one of the other things that also triggered some reviewers was the fact that there are no maps for the game at all. So even if you hit select, it just doesn't do anything. Nothing pops up. So even though these levels are fairly intertwined, there just isn't a way of keeping track of it other than your own mind. And once again, you know, if there's a number of reviewers that bring up a single point, it's a pretty good indication it probably actually is a problem in practice. Sometimes not. Oh, baby, that was bad. Woof, that was rough. Thankfully, combat was over, but if that happened during a boss fight, I'd be pretty ticked. Anyway, I do think that, you know, having just played a little bit at this point, I could see how that could get a little annoying, trying to go back through and figure out where you've been already. But my impulse, honestly, is that I kind of like that choice. I appreciate that they're not holding your hand and they kind of embrace the idea that you have to get to know these levels. This isn't a Starfield situation where there's no maps for like a big city in a role-playing game where there's also procedurally generated planets and stuff. This isn't something like that. This is a game with tighter level design, allegedly, and I think it's fair for them to expect the players to get to know the levels while they play. But that opinion may change once I play more of it and get deeper and deeper in. Because as we all know, the deeper you get, sometimes you can have regrets. It's a thing. Oh, what's this? I love the seamless transitions. Look at that. These little segments are just like, yeah. Just look at it. Take it in. We did that. Okay, now for the sparks that we've been unlocking, we can actually apply those just in the menu. You can see we have different abilities, and then we have spells. If we go to spells, you can see we have immobilize listed there, and then we also have different changes to it effectively. So hitting an immobilized enemy with light attack slightly extends the duration of the next immobilization inflicted on them. This effect can stack up to 5 times, which is an interesting little tidbit. Same with this upgrade. Each talent level moderately increases damage dealt to immobilized targets. Okay. If we back out and we go back to the other side, which is just abilities, you can see we have staff stances and foundation. If we go to foundation, this can improve things like reducing the cost of sprinting, the stamina cost. Each talent level moderately reduces stamina cost of dodging. Martial arts, each talent level significantly increases the engaged distance of the light attack. Okay. Mobile spin, moving forward while using the staff spin initiates mobile spin. I kind of like that. I'm going to unlock that one. Survival moderately increases maximum health. Okay, I think that makes sense to use. And then maximum stamina also increase. That probably makes sense to do. And then this one, initiate heavy attack during mobile spin to quickly engage and stagger the enemy. Ooh, I kind of like the look of that. Okay. And boom, just like that, we've leveled up some and we're ready to keep going. You know, some people have looked at clips of this game and have just been like, I don't get it. I don't understand it. Like, why is it important to have high production value? Like, who really cares that much? And honestly, it's just because I think right now a lot of people are particularly sensitive to the production value discussion because like this generation has been somewhat disappointing, frankly. Like a lot of us have felt as though this has been the generation of remasters and remakes, and there's very little originality this generation. And when we do get originality, it's in a live service game that nobody asked for. And even then it's not that original. So I think it's fair for people to feel as though they deserve something fresh and something cutting edge. And that's what this represents in a lot of ways. It's a brand new IP from a pretty unknown studio, certainly in the West. And it looks really good. It seems to play pretty well. And while it does seem to have some technical issues, it's something that people have been wishing they could get from other big studios. And that's why I think you're seeing it pop off. Even right now, let's pull this up and look. Jeez, man. They have 1.2 million people in game right now and climbing. 1.2 million people. And again, just bear in mind, this game released 2 hours ago, and this is like updating, breaking all-time peak records as of just 2 minutes ago. When I refresh, it's probably going to be higher. It was 1.238. Well, it's still stuck there. It'll probably refresh here in a few minutes, but that's just absolutely outrageous. You do see some mixed reviews. In general, it's positive, but there's about 20% of players who are leaving negative reviews, and that is because of the less than optimized state of the game. And some people on certain hardware are having more problems than others running it. Thankfully, Steam has a 2-hour basically demo period. So you can try the game, and if it doesn't work for you, you can just return it and not be out $60, which is refreshing. And I think everybody needs to put that policy in place for all stores, because it instills a lot of confidence, honestly, in the customer when you're like, hey, I'm worried about performance of Black Myth on PS5. So either I'll buy it and then I return it within 2 hours, easy peasy, or more realistically, because that's not a thing on PlayStation, people just won't buy it because they're worried about it. And look at that. And so I think if they were to make that more standard, that'd be great. You can technically get refunds through PlayStation, but it is far less robust a system than what you have in, say, Steam. So it's a little bit of a tangent. I just think Steam's policy for refunds is great and everybody should copy it. Okay, we are a fly now. Or correct that, we're not technically a fly, we're a cicada, but you get what I mean. It's a big fly that's basically a cicada, right? Oh, another big boss. Let's do this one and then we'll try the PlayStation 5 version of the game. Here we are. Hello, good sir. Look at him. Oh, he's the guy with the trippy voice. This is the non-gold variant though. Oh, I thought I dodged that. Guess I did not. Oh, he's got a triple. Oh, it goes pop, pop, pop. I was not ready for that. Okay, first death. Okay, take two. Hello, my friend. Let's try this again. Bada bing, bada bing, bada boom. I learned my lesson. I'm running far away. Don't tell me he has 4. Okay. Oh, he does kind of have 4. Oh, God. Dude, he hurts so bad. Run away. Run away farther. Yeah, I'm not messing with that. That attack is scary. It just keeps getting worse and worse. What was that? Drink the gourd, baby. Oh, I got. Okay. There's the big man himself again. I like his coat. I actually think like this might be one of those like DPS check bosses, just to like make sure you're paying attention, you know, just like, okay, no, we're not messing around anymore. Like we're here, we're serious. Okay. But there's more to the level. If we like look over here, there's like, oh wait, no, wrong button. Spin your thing. Oh my God, spin your thing. There you go. So this is the whole reason I brought this. Okay, I'm gonna die to grunts now. Just because I do this for a living doesn't mean I'm good at it, okay? It's the American way. Okay, I dodged that arrow, bullet, whatever. We're gonna be okay. It does seem like this is one of those games where they're gonna give you kind of like a spaghetti, a plate of spaghetti type level with tons of different little pathways and all sorts of little bitty things tucked in different corners. And there might be some bosses, might be some things to find here and there. But like
Another monkey, I see.
like this one. Oops.
Why don't you lay down your weapon?
Oops. Okay. Guangxi.
What say you?
Oh God. Okay, we'll try this guy and then we'll try the PS5 port and see how that's going. My God. Ooh, okay, fair enough. Oh, okay, he can throw it. Okay, that's pretty good. Oh, okay, well, one more time. We'll try one more time because I feel like that was just bad. Okay, one more time. Okay, back to it. I mean, I'm amazed there's 2 pretty unique bosses very close, like a literal stone's throw away from each other. That's kind of crazy. Okay, I gotta get these like dodge timings down because I do not have them down now. Oh, that's a quick little zip. Oh, I thought I could hit him from there. I could not. Oh, the fire killed me. Okay. Monkeys burn. Now we know. So yeah, I mean, they're not kidding. This thing picks up pretty good. In the first like 30 minutes, you're like, okay, this is like pretty chill. I see why it's not a Souls-like game. I mean, it's pretty easy going. And then you get hit with the first 2 optional bosses, or I guess the like 3rd and 4th optional boss, and then it gets like pretty intense. So fair play. But now I want to see what the PS5 version is like, because they kept this version tucked away, hidden from the media. They weren't allowed to make any reviews with it. They weren't allowed to show any gameplay of these games past the chapter 2 mark. So we're going to see what that's like, and we're going to do that now. And thanks to the magic of YouTube and my editor, Jacob, we are now in the PlayStation 5 port, where we have a quality, balanced, and performance mode available. Usually, like, we only get quality or performance, so I'm happy to see that we have 3 options. First things first, I want to test performance mode, because that's what I'm hearing doesn't run tremendously well. So that's what we're going to try. Okay, here we are. I mean, right off the bat, I can already tell that, as you'd expect, the resolution and frame rate is a good bit lower, even on performance mode, the frame rate does seem to be sitting in the 50s or so. Not bad, but it's definitely there. And the resolution, I mean, again, I just get spoiled. Oh, already having frame drops. Wow. The resolution, as you'd expect for performance mode, is also quite low, but PC just spoils you like that. But here we go. We're going to get into it. Now, I want to be clear, just because the performance mode may really struggle, that does not mean that the game is outright unplayable or anything. It just could mean that you need to play it more like locked to 30 on a quality mode or something, akin to what you might have done back in the ancient days of the PS4. But that's why we're testing it here, because we want to see what it's actually like, because there's been a lot of speculation. A lot of people have wondered, why didn't they want reviewers playing this version of the game? And I mean, already I can tell the frame rate's kind of all over the place in this opening sequence. It was a little bit bouncy on PC as well, but even on console in the first 30 seconds, it's getting a little bit bouncy. But we'll see what it's like when we actually start to control Mr. Monkey Man and play with him. Okay, and here we go. I will say, look at those spears. Like, look at the people in the background. Like, god damn. Oh, baby. Okay, I'm gonna be real, guys. This is like Jedi Survivor levels of horrible FSR2 implementations. Because if you're not familiar, that game basically was a tremendous game, but the implementation of the upscaling was so bad, it almost ruined the game. For a lot of people, it just did. They just couldn't play it. They couldn't manage it. But I will say that this is one of the roughest implementations I've seen. If we just do a freeze frame, okay? So at any moment in the next few seconds, Jacob's going to freeze the video, and I'm going to keep talking over top of it. And I'm guessing no matter where he paused the video just then, in that freeze frame, you're seeing tons of very strange artifacting, the checkerboarding from FSR2, FSR3, whatever upscaling that's not working properly. The details all over the place. It's just a bit of a mess. And that is to a certain extent a matter of personal preference and taste. Some people have a higher tolerance for graphical issues like this, where they can play a game, running at 540p and they're totally fine, even if it's running at 20 frames, and they can still do just fine. I'm not one of those people. I really struggle with games that don't run very well, and I personally get driven absolutely mad by it. And with this, one of the big perks of Black Myth Wukong is that it is a graphical powerhouse, and it looks like it, but this game is relying so heavily on upscaling to hit those resolution targets that everything in the background looks like it's been smeared in butter and Vaseline. And it's just such a shame, because it does the game a disservice, we can do a side by side here. You can see that section versus the same section on PC when we were playing that at the top of the video. And I mean, I think it's pretty clear. This is a little bit rough. And bear in mind, reviewers were saying that the first two chapters of the game were very polished compared to the rest of the game, which is why the publishers said that they were not allowed to show footage after chapter 2. Because that's where all of the bugs were. That's where all of the real issues were with optimization. So the fact that we are seeing this rough of console performance in the first 5 minutes, that should tell you pretty well that there's a problem here. There's something off. And I mean, I think it's pretty plain to see. You freeze the frame at any given moment, and it's rough. If you're watching this on a phone, it might not be as noticeable, but I encourage you, if you have a bigger display, pull it up, or if you have a TV, maybe project this video onto your TV and just see what it looks like, because my guess is when you see what this is actually looking like, I meant to do this one, you're going to be a little shell-shocked by it, because it is pretty damn rough. We are capturing this video at very, very high fidelity, at 4K 60, at just crazy high quality, so that you can see these games that we make these videos on in their purest form. And So if you're seeing like artifacting, if you're seeing weird like granularity, if you're seeing really bizarre stuff like that, it's in the game. Like you can't fake it. Look at, I mean, it's a beautiful sequence. It's amazing, but man, FSR 2 or 3. I'm guessing this runs with FSR 3, but FSR strikes again. I'm so used to being like FSR 2 ruined it, but FSR 3 is back with a vengeance. Like it's still stunning. It's still stunning. It's just, after tasting the forbidden fruit that is the PC version comparatively, it's a little rough. But okay, here we are in the actual moment-to-moment gameplay back on the ground with our new monkey man. And I will say performance mode runs, it seems, at a pretty smooth 60, at least for now, as I run around and look about. And you know, that might change once we find our first boss encounter. But if we change the settings and we try swapping over to like, let's go display, graphics mode, over to like quality, and we back out, this is where it's going to go back down to 30. And it's definitely going to run. I keep trying to use left bumper for running instead of drinking. But here, like, it's down at 30. If anything, it feels like it occasionally dips into the 20s, but that might just be because I'm used to 60 at this point. But this might be the way to play it if the news is to be believed of the really rough performance later in the game. If it's like going from 60 down to 40, back to 50, back down to 30, and then up to 60 again, that kind of highly varied performance is just really, really disruptive, and it can even cause motion sickness and stuff. So if you're experiencing that, if you're playing this later and later, it might be worth just going straight through to quality mode and forcing yourself to play it at 30. I know that might sound like heresy, but that might honestly be the better option. But you know what? I don't care. I'm going back to performance mode. Let's go, baby. Give me those sweet, sweet frames. Bada bing, bada boom. Okay, our first little boss boy. Let's try this guy on PlayStation 5. Oh, yeah. Oh, he jumped while I jumped. Fair play. Okay, I mean, honestly, it's running pretty good. Not mad about it. So initial impressions are that it seems like this is going to be one of those games where your mileage is going to vary pretty heavily. And I do think it's going to change a lot as the game goes on. It does seem like this is one of those games where maybe after 2, 3, 4 hours is where it really starts to get rough around the edges, when you're well past the return period and stuff. Which is why in just a minute, we're going to pull up social media and see the people who have just been playing the PS5 version have gotten a little bit further than me, since they're not bouncing between PC and PS5 like a dingus. I want to see if people on like Twitch are having a rough go of it. Let's see. So just looking at people that are posting to X and stuff, their footage directly through PS5 shares. So they're playing the game in real time and they're uploading clips of it. You can see like in this clip from Joel Garcia, you can see he's saying his performance has been pretty solid. And, you know, there are still a lot of artifacts of upscaling and stuff. There's no mystery there that that's what they're using. But even in these later bosses, this is like 1 or 2 bosses past the fire guy you can see here. It's still gonna be there. It's still gonna be kind of rough around the edges, but if you're able to tune it out, you can probably play through it and be just fine. It's not one of those like unplayable messes as far as I can tell at this point at 10:40 at night on launch night. It launched like 2.5 hours ago or whatever. And so we're dealing with limited information, but with that information that we do have, it seems like people have been able to play for at least a few hours, a couple hours to a few hours, and are able to put up with it. There's people complaining about the upscaling and the lack of optimization and stuff, but it seems like if you were really, really excited for this and you were just hoping to sink your teeth into it, you can still do that. You just might have to put up with some ugly upscaling and it might look a little rough. But as far as like the gameplay is concerned, it's mostly preserved. You know, it still is stupid that we're in the year of our Lord Todd Howard 2024 and we're still dealing with poor optimization of big AAA games. It's just really sucky. And again, it just reaffirms the idea that this generation has been really underwhelming that we get a game that's beautiful and fantastic, but to achieve even decent performance, it has to be upscaled with DLSS or FSR 3 or 2 or whatever they happen to be using today. And even then, it's not going to look amazing, and it still won't run great. You'll still have a lot of frame drops, but at least it's technically playable. And it's just a bummer, man. I wish we could get back to the age of great optimization where games just ran really well and it wasn't a concern, you know? But in other news, the game has continued climbing on the charts in terms of Steam DB. It is now up to 1.374 million players. And bear in mind, this is just on Steam. Just to put that into perspective for you, all-time top records for player counts, like PUBG Battlegrounds at 3.2, Pal World, which broke all sorts of records back in January at 2.1 million, CS2 at 1.8, Lost Ark at 1.3, Dota 2 at 1.2. They have now overtaken Dota 2. They've surpassed Elden Ring, New World, Banana, Baldur's Gate, Cyberpunk. This game from an unknown studio for Western gamers, new IP, not using Star Wars or any other established IP, brand new, has come in and overtaken some of the biggest games in the world like it was nothing. And you know what? It just goes to show you that gamers at the end of the day just care about the games. Like if the game looks good, if it looks fun, if it looks epic, if it's beautiful, people will play it. People will buy it. People will be excited for it. It's really not that complicated. But I feel like so many of the biggest publishers in the world this generation are so scared of taking risks because games are really expensive to make. And all of their risks end up being things like Saints Row reboot or Forspoken and just end up being dumpster fires. So because they fundamentally don't understand what gamers want, or potentially worse, they do know what gamers want, but they almost like have contempt for gamers for wanting it. I mean, even with something like Black Myth Wukong, there have been attempts by major media organizations to basically get the game canceled, to shut it down, in my view, in very bad faith attempts to critique the studio behind it. And I think it's just ridiculous because any gamer could tell you that this game was going to pop off. Any gamer could have told you that something like Forspoken was going to crash and burn. And yet they still will waste hundreds of millions of dollars on those projects for no return. They'll just lose all that money and be like, oh, I really thought that one would have worked, because they don't understand, or really, frankly, it seems, care for what gamers want, which is just an awesome game that looks cool, looks fun to play, and isn't trying to teach us a lesson about the world or who we are, who we should be. It's just a game where you play as a monkey beating up tigers and bears. That's all it needs to be. And it looks fun. And so people are buying it and having a great time. Not everything has to be a lecture. Sometimes you can just have fun playing a video game. And I think that that is why, at the end of the day, something like Black Myth Wukong is resonating with people. I hope they continue to sort out the technical issues. I'm going to keep playing it here on my PC, and I'm going to have a jolly old time doing it. And I'm sure I'm going to be talking about it on my stream tomorrow or today when this video goes up. So come over to Luke Stevens Live, links below, check it out. And I'd love to chat with you about the game, because I'm having a good time. I'm sure we're going to continue to get patches and updates as the days and weeks go by. So performance on PS5 is only going to get better. Same with performance on PC. That's just how these things work. I hope it doesn't take a nosedive. I hope we don't get to the point in like 5-6 hours of gameplay or 10 hours of gameplay where it takes an absolute nosedive and becomes unplayable, but you know, time will tell, I suppose. But with all that said, I'm going to turn off all these crazy hot lights and I'm going to just play the game for fun now. So wish me luck. After that, I'm going to go to bed because tomorrow I have to do something very intense and potentially soul draining for your entertainment, and that is play Concord early access. I don't know if I have the strength to do it, but you better believe I'm going to try. So wish me luck. That video will go up tomorrow, so make sure to subscribe so you can see that when it launches. But with all that said, thank you for watching. I love you all desperately, and I'll see you in the next video. Hugs and kisses. Bye-bye. And shout out to our sponsor, Pair Eyewear, for the awesome glasses. See ya. Bye.